Big Sean's first #1 rap single, My Last, didn't start with fame, money, or even a studio session. It began with a $100 paycheck, and a decision that would later change his life. At 11 years old, Big Sean rapped for his mom in their Detroit home. You see, she never thought her son would grow up to be a rapper, but when she heard his words, she saw something rare.
Well, I never thought he'd grow up to be a rapper. I don't think any mother looks at her baby and says, oh, I hope you grow up to be a world-class rapper.
World-class rapper.
He had a talent for it that I recognized when you were 11, right? When you did that rap for me. And I was amazed that he could memorize all that and remember what he was saying. And, you know, he had a nice little sway, and I recognized the talent.
By high school, Sean was chasing that spark, freestyling every Friday at Detroit's local hip-hop radio station. That became his training ground.
I had a good relationship with the station from doing a show every Friday there called the Friday Night Cypher, where people would battle, and then the winners of the battle would get to go on air and rap. Like, they would pick like 6 people, and they would get to rap over the air for like 30 minutes over instrumental. So it was like good exposure. I did it every Friday for like over a year, so I built like good relationships. I would miss it some weeks, but for the most part, like almost every Friday.
So for a whole year, you were at the radio station. You were actually on the air.
Yeah.
Every Friday.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't realize that the grind that goes into this.
Oh,
you know
hell no, man. People think this shit is overnight, you know, and it's not, man. And you have to have new verses every time. You have to be prepared to battle every week. It was a lot of work, especially for a kid in high school, you know?
And then finally came the day. It wasn't a Friday, but a Saturday. A teenage Big Sean had just finished his shift as a telemarketer and was holding his $100 check. Kanye West happened to be at the station for an interview, and Sean took a chance, talked his way past security, and asked Kanye if he could spit. Right there in the hallway, he freestyled for 10 minutes.
Kanye came on a Saturday morning, and I was there the night before. And that Saturday morning, I was at the bank cashing my like $100 check. I was a telemarketer. That shit was whack as it was the worst shit ever. And shout out to everybody who does that, because that shit's hard, man. And my homie, Say It Ain't Tom, called me, who's sitting right over there with the red hat. He called me and was like, man, yo, you listening to the radio? And I'm like, no. And he's like, man, Kanye playing this new album. We was in high school, this was labor registration, so it was like 06. Kanye playing this album. Man, if you go down there and rap for him, man, he'll sign you. Dropped everything I was doing. I didn't cash the check, man. I walked out the bank, went to my crib to grab a CD I've been selling around high school, smashed down the freeway. You know, my homie gave me some gas money to get there. Pulled up to the station, and you know, since I was there last night, they let me in, and I made my way through the back offices.
So really, if you really think about it, the fact that you had put in a year worth of work at the radio station, was the reason you this happened, and you were able to come into the building.
Oh, yeah.
Radio stations, you can't just roll up into a radio station.
No, hell no. People don't understand that, man. One thing leads to another thing leads to another thing. Something that doesn't seem so big could be the biggest shit of your life without you even knowing, you know. Man, that Friday Night Cypher was probably one of the biggest things in my life without me even knowing. And, you know, I finagled my way in the back offices. I claimed I had to holler at a DJ. And then I hollered at the DJ, and the DJ was like, yo, you should go holler at Ye. He's right down the hall.
What a surprise.
And I was like, oh, okay. And I had my CD. And I made it past his security guard. I made it past his road manager. I got to shake Kanye's hand and was like, yo, man, I'm a kid. I do this show every Friday, man. I'm an aspiring MC. And he was like, man, that's what's up. Keep it up, man. Keep it up. I'm like, yo, you know, he started walking away, and I tapped him again and was like, yo, can I rap for you? And he was like, man, I don't have time, and you know, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, please, man, I ride to school listening to you, man. Like, you one of my heroes. Just let me spit something, you know? And he was like, all right, man, you can spit 16 bars while we walking out the station.
Do you remember the bars?
No, I wish I did. Everybody asked me that.
You don't remember the bars?
No, I don't remember, but I started spitting them as we were walking out. At first, he wasn't paying attention, but then as soon as we got to the entrance of the station, he stopped and started looking at me, and he started bobbing his head. And then he started saying, like, oh, shit. Or like, you know, I would do a punchline, and he'd be like, oh, shit. And I was so nervous, I was rapping towards the ground, man, and that 16 bars ended up turning into like 10 minutes. And then I gave him my CD.
Kanye was impressed, but it didn't end there. He continued his grind and eventually it paid off. Finding himself at a Good Music showcase in Austin, Texas, Kanye invited him into his trailer, where Common and Kid Cudi were hanging out. Big Sean started freestyling again, and the whole room felt it.
Break world records, grinding Ryan Sheckler. Since I signed a con, I'm Louis Vuitton shine. Up in Benny Hine, eating all the wine time. Rose, or a little Sean Don. Put her hands down my pants, now she rocking Sean John.
At this point, Kanye was sold. You see, 2 weeks before Sean was set to start college at Michigan State on a full scholarship, he signed with Good Music, an imprint of Def Jam Recordings. That was 2007.
I never thought it would pay off like it did. I thought you would go on to college, you know, which he was on his way to college until 2 weeks before you were supposed to be at Michigan State. But I knew he was going to be successful. I didn't necessarily think you were going to make a living as you have, you know, but I'm not surprised.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Kyle Louis Vuitton Don. I just want to shout out to my dog, new Good Music artist, Big Sean, straight out the D, finally famous in the building. Holla.
Fast forward to 2010, after a run of mixtapes, Sean was working on his debut album, Finally Famous, with Kanye himself as the sole executive producer. And he was deeply involved, just like he'd been 5 years ago when he crafted Dreams for the Game. They needed a lead single that could introduce Sean to the mainstream. That's when producer No I.D stepped in. Known as an in-house producer for Jermaine Dupri's So Def Recordings, No I.D had a resume stacked with heavyweights from Jay-Z's Run This Town featuring Rihanna and Kanye, to Drake's Find Your Love, among countless others. He played Sean a bouncy, piano-laced beat. Built around a sample of New Edition's 1988 hit, Can You Stand the Rain? No pressure from me, baby. And Sean wasn't impressed, but No I.D saw the vision. He would tell Sean that if he wanted to go mainstream, he would have to learn to go hard on commercial instrumentals.
The producer, No I.D, who was the album producer, he gave me the beat, and it was about half produced up as it is now. And I was like, man, I don't want to do it. It's not hard. You know, he was like, look, man, you want to be a mixtape rapper forever, or you want to have songs people could really party to, live to, have fun to? And I was like, man, you're right.
The challenge was laid, and Sean went home. He wrote the whole song, verses and hook, turning it into a feel-good anthem about the grind, the payoff, and living like tonight might be your last. At that point, the track didn't have Chris Brown on it, and Big Sean planned to sing the hook himself. But after Chris came to one of his shows, the two linked in the studio, where Big Sean played the song for Chris. And instantly, Chris Brown wanted in on the hook.
At first, it was just all me. It was no Chris Brown on it. It was me singing all the parts. I wrote the whole song, so of course, me and Chris were in the studio a lot, so I let him hear the song. And once he heard it, he was like, oh, shit. You know, like, we got to do this. So he sounded just a little bit better than I did on the chorus, just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But no, I'm talking, he sounded way better than I did on the chorus. And as soon as he did that, it was just kind of like, why not use this as a first single?
For the video, they tapped Taz Stansberry, a director behind some of the most acclaimed music videos of the 2010s, including Jennifer Lopez and Pitbull's On the Floor, which now has over 2.6 billion views on YouTube. Shot in West Hollywood, the My Last video became a star-studded party, with cameos from Kid Cudi and Tiana Taylor. When My Last dropped on March 1st, 2011, it was an instant vibe. It peaked at number 30 on the Billboard Hot 100, hit number 1 on the Billboard Rap Songs chart, and went platinum in the US. For Sean, this was more than just a debut single. This was his statement to the world. Fueled by the success of the single, his album was a success, and on June 2011, Finally Famous debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200, selling 87,000 copies on its first week. Big Sean was now a star, and he was finally famous. From a hallway freestyle with a $100 check in his pocket, to a chart-topping collaboration with Chris Brown, My Last was proof that taking chances, trusting the right people, and putting everything into the moment can turn one song into a life-changing breakthrough. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button, because we're a small channel that just hit 100 subscribers and we're on the road to 200 subs. Also, for more videos like this one, maybe check out this playlist where you can see all of the videos in the Behind the Music series. But yeah, in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Peace.